You're listening to the Outside the Box podcast
with Mike, Gwen, Alex, and Lee from Outside the Box Associates.
Every month, your host will have a real-world discussion about rights and topics that many of us take for granted.
From a different perspective, the lens of disability advocacy.
It may look a little different,
but we live, we laugh, and we love just like everyone else.
And we share the same rights as everybody else.
Join us as we explore the practical aspects of these rights.
It may just change your perspective. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Outside the Box podcast. I'm Mike Rogers.
I'm Alex Jesco.
Gwen Squire.
My name is Lee Hartley.
Today we're going to be talking about people with disabilities in the entertainment industry. You know, one of the first things that I think about when I think about people with disabilities in the entertainment industry is I don't see them in, how can I say, in regular occurrences. You know, I feel that sometimes you see people with disabilities in shows about people with disabilities or that focus on, you know, people with disabilities, but I still don't see them sprinkled throughout different shows as just occurring characters. What do you guys think about that? What do you think, Gwen?
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I do. Let's see. And another thing is I don't always see either is an actual person with an actual disability portraying somebody with a disability. You don't see that either.
I mean, there are, you know, shows now that are focusing on the autistic community that have
Right.
people and sometimes people with Down syndrome, but not enough. What are your thoughts, Alex?
So for me, I would disagree only because lately, I mean, well, at least ever since Breaking Bad, we did see, you know, RJ Mitt portrayed as Walter's son, and he has CP, and he is somebody who has CP. So that's
True.
one. And then we also have Demi Brewer from American Horror Story. So she's another one who actually is a person with a disability who is not a main character, but is also part of a narrative as a person with a disability. So
yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying.
All right. I see Gwen has her hand raised. Let's go to Gwen.
Yeah.
Gwen.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, I thought of another show too. Speechless, the comedy was on a couple years ago with Minnie Driver.
Yeah.
The guy in the wheelchair, Micah, I forget his last name, but the actor, he actually had CP, and he was playing a man with CP. You know, a kid, I guess, young adult.
That was a pretty pretty cool show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because I see both ends of things. I see that they should have more people with disabilities in you know, reoccurring within, you know, within the you know, the entertainment industry, just being a part of things. But I do see your point because I'm a big American Horror Story fan, and it's great that you know she was in a role and they didn't like focus on her being a person with a disability. She was just another character and a very cool character, but you know.
Yeah.
A very cool witch
I
character.
concur.
Yeah. I will also say too
May I
that
button?
oh yeah, go ahead, Lee.
I think having disabled actors in shows is great, and it is super for self-advocacy. I'd like to see the entertainment world needs to show the dirty side of being disabled.
When you say the dirty side, what do you mean specifically? If you don't mind my follow-up question.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what you mean by that. Because like, when I'm thinking dirty, I'm thinking like, raunchy, sexy, yada yada yada.
Right, me
But
too.
you
Yep.
but you might be thinking something else, so I don't know.
Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna speak for Lee,
one,
but oh,
two, B. Like going to the bathroom.
Like
so
the struggles of that.
everyday realism
Oh,
of
Okay.
people with disabilities, and well, there have been some documentaries about what people go through as people with disabilities, and I can't remember the full name of the show, but it was Rory something,
huh.
and it was a movie, and they kind of portrayed the struggles of people with disabilities, but um, as you talk about it, Alex, it is really great that you are seeing people with disabilities playing people with disabilities, and with the advent of Crip Camp, we're
Yeah.
actually, as people with disabilities, getting into the area of of getting close to winning awards.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Exactly.
think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
So
We'll
mean,
just have to. Oops.
go ahead.
oh, that's okay.
I would
I was
also
gonna
say
say.
that oh, go
Go ahead,
ahead, Gwen.
Alex. I was gonna say real quick. If you haven't seen Crip Camp, you got to see it.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Alex.
I will also say too that there have been some people who have portrayed themselves as people with disabilities, but are not people with disabilities. The two
Right.
examples I can think of are the guy from Glee who was in the wheelchair that I can't remember his name of now. The guy with the glasses. Um, yeah, I don't remember his name, but anyway, um, I know he wasn't a person with a disability, although he was portrayed as one. And then there was the other one, the guy from The Good Doctor. I forgot his name too.
Oh. What's his name? Freddie Highmore.
Yeah, Freddie Highmore. He's a really good actor, and I appreciate the fact that he did his research. Um, but there's plenty of people with disabilities out there who can act as well, so they should be definitely
Exactly.
using
Yep.
people with
Right,
disabilities.
right.
Have
Speaking,
anybody seen Jody?
seen what, Lee? I'm sorry.
Have anybody seen Jody?
I don't, I don't know that show.
I don't think so, Lee.
It's about a woman who breaks her neck in a car accident.
Mm,
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Or
no,
I've never seen that.
no, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But I have seen Coda. That's a good movie.
Oh, is it?
That's a very good movie.
You know what movie I liked was the one with Woody Harrelson and the basketball players. What was that?
Oh,
What is that
Champions?
called?
Wasn't it
Champions.
Champions? Yeah.
I I thought they were people with disabilities, and I think they portrayed things very very well with some good humor. So I think we're on the upswing with people with disabilities being in the media, but I think it needs in the entertainment media, but I think it needs to be more frequent.
Well,
Right.
what I would like to know, and maybe this is something more to research, I don't know,
Mhm.
but like when it comes to Hollywood or other streaming services like Disney Plus and Netflix, do they have a research team for people with disabilities? For instance, you know, if they want to bring in somebody with a disability and put them on a show, do they have people they can reach out to talk about, you know, the struggles of being a person with a disability, whatever disability that might be? Are there research teams that do that? Or, is it just like, oh, I know somebody, I'm going to go ask them? Because as we
Right.
all know, every person with a disability handles their disability different. So they're never
Yeah,
going to get the full spectrum.
that's an interesting question.
Yep, it is. I have read things that have said, well, an actor, went to this place or talked to this person when they had to portray a person with a disability.
Right.
But, is that really, showing them? You know what I mean?
Right. Are they getting the full spectrum of the various kinds, the various ways it can affect a person with whatever disability it may be, whether it's autism or a person with cerebral palsy or whatever?
Right.
Actually, that also brings me to my next point,
Hmm.
because oftentimes you notice two kinds of people with disabilities that are portrayed in popular media. There's either the person with Down syndrome or the person with cerebral palsy. You don't often see a lot of other people with disabilities in popular media.
I remember seeing Scent of a Woman in college, and it seemed as if the bulk of the audience was laughing at the disabled actor, and I was laughing with him.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, it depends on the context too. If it's something that is a funny scene or is something pithy, and you can laugh, I don't think there's anything wrong with laughing. I mean, I don't think you. I mean, if it's offensive, like offensive, um, and they're just laughing at something to laugh at it. Like if one of us was acting and they just said, "Oh, that disabled guy over there," that's not something that is a positive thing. But I laugh at things that other people might not think are funny, just because I'm a person with a disability and I can see myself in that character or something.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the shows that I actually enjoyed watching, and I've watched at least twice now, was Special, with uh, Ryan Ryan O'Connor, I believe is his name,
Uh-huh.
or Ryan O'Connell. I'm sorry. Um, and one of the reasons why I like it is because his life relates to mine so much, in a certain
Okay.
way. Um,
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a Netflix or something?
Yeah, it was a Netflix special. It still is on there, I believe. Um, they're really short episodes. They're really 15-minute long episodes. It's really great because it talks about the various struggles that he has, very very real world struggles that he has as a person with a disability who's also gay. Um, it's very much relevant to today's world and not so much like, oh, look at me, I'm a person with a disability, I'm such an inspiration. It's more like these are the real world struggles of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, kind of thing, and blah 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 blah, blah.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of that. It was pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, and so I appreciate that kind of thing. The cool thing about that too is that it brings us more into the present with where we stand as far as, or sit or roll or whatever you want to call it, uh because frankly, like, a lot of the issues that we face nowadays isn't just about discrimination, but discrimination given the variety of identities we hold, whether we're gay, straight, or otherwise, and the different kind of struggles that comes with being a person with a disability too. You know,
Sure, sure. I
so
mean,
that
we could talk. We could
yeah,
do three episodes on that. Yeah.
yeah. Um, there are also, for those of you that are on Snapchat, there's a Snap story called "Dating Different" or something like that, where they actually feature people with disabilities as dates for other people, and they talk about the various issues of dating as a person with a disability and that kind of thing. It's not exactly popular media, but it is mainstream media, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Hmm.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do you have any other comments, Gwen?
No,
May I
I was
butt
just sitting there
in?
thinking that I had gotten into the show. It was called Cold Black, and it starred like Marcia Gay Harden and a few other people. But anyway, one of the characters, the doctors, it was took place in a hospital, and one of the doctors had a daughter with spina bifida, like myself. And
Mhm.
just as they were really getting into the character, the the doctor's like personal life and his daughter having spina bifida, of course they canceled the show. But they were
Uh,
just getting into it, and it was really good. I was actually liking it because I never see anything portrayed about somebody with my disability. So I thought that was very cool. I mean, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
Yeah,
I just thought
that
that
was
was very
cool.
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lee, you had something else to say.
I think the audience and that we're laughing at different or opposing times.
Okay.
Ah,
And you know that's being a person of humor, as I call myself. I think that sometimes we, although we have to be respectful, I think sometimes we can take things too seriously.
Yeah,
In that, if we can't poke fun at ourselves, then who can we poke fun at? If we
exactly.
can't, if we can't find ourselves in a character and laugh a little bit, yeah, I mean, I know, and I'm going to say this, and it might be controversial to some people out there, but I know a lot of people that watch Family Guy with
Hmm.
right.
disabilities, and you know that could be considered offensive, but we see a lot of the stereotypes that it portrays in there, and they're real stereotypes, and I think
Yep.
that's why some of us can relate to them.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
it's satire and everything, but
It's still funny.
yes, yes, it can be. It can be.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go overboard, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I believe in South Park there's actually a disabled
May I
character.
butt in?
Of course, Lee.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Who's
Fire
that?
Marshal Bill.
Who's I don't know that person. Who is that?
Yeah. Oh, it's in Living Color.
I don't know that.
Oh, that was from the '90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a
Okay.
kid then, so
Yep.
sorry. Don't know the
What do you want to
reference.
say about Fire Marshal Bill?
May I butt in?
He's doing a lot of budding today.
Yeah.
Yes, he's butting in.
Fire. May I butt in?
Oh my gosh. I'm with you. Okay. Yes.
Also, may I say that by virtue of this podcast, we're also contributing to the entertainment industry in a way
Yeah.
and for people with disabilities. So
Yeah. Yeah. You don't always think of a podcast like this as entertainment,
right.
but it is.
Also, Gwen had to step away. I believe she might be gone for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
So
But we'll make a couple more comments and then we'll wrap up.
yeah.
Fire Marshal Bill was a character on In Living Color who was a burn victim.
Okay. All right. Very
Oh, I
cool.
didn't know that. I didn't know that he was portrayed as a person with a disability. That was a funny character, but I did not know that. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So I would say that I think we're going in the right direction in the entertainment industry. I think we're not as ostracized as we used to be. People expect to see people with disabilities and things in some way, so I think that's good. Alex, do you have
I
any final
concur.
thoughts?
Yeah, Lee definitely agrees for sure. Um, for me, the more that we're out there, the more available we are to the public, the more the public sees us as people to show, and that's part of being out there in advocacy as well, and all that kind of thing. And not only in advocacy, but just as just people
Yes,
being out
people,
of the
yeah.
world. Um, but also beyond that, I also think too that the more we move forward in the world and the more people see us as valid and not so much inspirational, but just people living our lives, the more Hollywood and Netflix will see us as, people that need more exposure, in the sense of showing the world who we are, um, and not going the route of inspiration porn. So,
Yeah, no, I think that the media can be a way of making sure that the playing field is has more equity in the world in general without it always being advocacy, just by showing who we are, even in acting roles and different things like that.
yep. All right.
Well, we at Outside the Box thank you all for tuning in, as we say in the olden days, and we hope you come back for our next episode. Check us out at ostbwny.com.
Very cool. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Um, oh, and Gwen says, just as a final note, that Hollywood needs to stop worrying about having famous people without portraying people without uh pe- I'm sorry. Hollywood needs to stop worrying about having famous people without disabilities portraying someone with a disability. Let people with disabilities portray the characters.
I would agree.
Absolutely.
All
So,
right, everybody.
on that note, have a wonderful evening, everybody. It was wonderful to speak to you guys, and we'll talk to you guys all again soon. Please join us for the next episode.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Right of the Month podcast with Mike, Alex, and Gwen from Outside the Box Associates. The Right of the Month podcast airs every Thursday and Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern here on Heartability Radio. Listen on Live 365 or www.heartabilityradio.com. We'll see you next time.